Okay, good morning, everyone. It is now 10 a.m. on July 19th. We will call the Bingo Advisory Committee meeting for the Texas Lottery Commission to order. We will start off with the Pledge of Allegiance to the U.S. and the Texas flags. Pledge allegiance to the United States of America, to the flag for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty,
justice for all. And Texas flag, honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. All right, roll call. Melody?
Here.
Veronica is on the phone. She is muted driving.
No, I'm
Michael
here.
Anastasio? I'm here. Jason Pohl?
Here.
Stacy, did you get on, dear? I think she was going to try to call in. She may not be on yet. Floyd, you are here, sir. Good to see you. And Corey, did Corey make it on?
Corey's
Okay,
not on.
guess not. Okay, excellent. All right. Well, we do have a quorum this time, so wonderful. Glad to see that. I know last time a lot of people are experiencing the hurricane, so we do appreciate everybody being all right. And certainly, Tommy, we know you had to go rather quickly last time. We're glad you're okay, buddy.
Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. All right, we're going to go on to item number 3, meeting minutes from June 5th, 2024. Is there any public comment on that? If not, we'll move to the action item on this. I move to accept the meeting minutes as printed on the website.
I second it.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None opposed. Meeting minutes are approved. We will go on to item number 4, fiscal year 2024, the annual report. And I would like to personally thank Tom Stewart for helping out on this so much. Tom did 99.9% of the heavy lifting on this. And Tom, you're worth your weight in gold, sir. So do not lose any weight because you are valuable. Has everybody had a chance to read this yet?
Yes.
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 Okay. There were some corrections. LaDonna and I worked on this. LaDonna, thank you for spotting those corrections. My proofreading skills are not as good as an attorney, so thank you very much on that. Do I need to read this into the record, LaDonna or Tyler, or someone from staff?
Tyler, what do you think?
No, I don't think so. It's going to be published at the commission meeting. So
I'll include it in I'll put it in, it'll be in the notebook.
Okay.
Commission
All right.
items are due next week, so I'll have it in plenty of time, assuming it's approved today.
Okay. So if I don't need to read this word for word, all these pages, if somebody wants to make the motion that we accept it as submitted, we would probably gladly entertain that.
I make the motion to submit.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
Veronica.
We have 2 motions, and can we get a second on that, please?
A second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the Bingo Advisory Committee 2023-2024 annual report as submitted today to be published to the commissioners for the next meeting. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any opposed? If not, motion carries for the report to be submitted as it is today. Wonderful. once again, Tom, thank you so much on that. And Tom also did a lot of heavy lifting on the annual work plan, which we're going to next. The fiscal year 2025 annual work plan, every year we have to come up with a work plan that kind of describes what we think is going to be upcoming in the next year. This is pretty short order. I'll just go ahead and read through this in case we need any amendments or adjustments to it. The 2025 annual work plan is number one, identify potential rule or procedural changes that may help organizations address challenges related to conducting charitable bingo. Any potential recommendations on changes to how bingo games are played shall be clearly authorized by Texas law, but may also include research, consideration, and discussion of issues not authorized by Texas law. Number two, continue to make recommendations and assist in the 2024 Charitable Bingos Rules Review and make a final recommendation to the Texas Lottery Commission regarding adoption. Number three, review ways that other states and jurisdictions assist charities, including by promoting awareness among customers. Number four, monitor legislative activity that may impact charitable bingo, especially issues related to recommendations and proposals by the Sunset Advisory Commission and staff. Number five, provide support as needed to secure legislative approval of any proposed CBOD requested changes to the Bingo Enabling Act. Number six, provide feedback and comments to CBOD staff and commissioners on changes to administrative rules in Chapter 402 and any other new additional amendments. Number seven, work with CBOD staff to identify ways to increase filing of quarterly reports using the online filing system. Number eight, review components of the agency's charitable bingo website, including the listing of BAC members and recommended elements and information to be included in future website updates. Number nine, provide reports at each commission meeting that include status updates of the BAC's activities, industry accomplishments, challenges, or concerns. Number 10, develop the required BAC annual report to the commission on the state of charitable bingo industry and submit to the commission and to the charitable bingo director by July 15th of 2025. And then there's a list of all of our current BAC members and what they do. So the only thing I want to add to this is when this is submitted to the commissioners, last year, I think it was last year or the year before, the commissioners decided to make some edits to our work plan, which they are perfectly within their right to do. We do serve at the commission, at the pleasure of the commission. So this may, even though we vote to endorse this as our next work plan for the next year, the commissioners can change that. So I just wanted everybody to be aware of that. But if there's no public comment or anything on this, then we'll need a motion and a second.
I move that we accept these as is.
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second to accept the Bingo Advisory Committee 2025 annual work plan on the floor. So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? If no opposed, motion passes. Our work plan is solidified and will be submitted to the commissioners. Item number 6 is the 2025 BAC nominations recommendations. I want to, we formed a subcommittee at our last meeting that we had of me, Melody, and Veronica. And I want to personally thank Melody and Veronica for doing most of this. They did a wonderful job. We developed a questionnaire to ask all the applicants the same questions. They went through and made their calls, did their interviews, spent a lot of time on this. So personally, I want to thank y'all both, and I'm sure everybody else appreciates it as well. I'm going to turn it over to Melody and Veronica. We've met, I guess it was day before yesterday, and discussed, and we decided on 3 nominations to fill the seats that are going to be vacant. And we have decided to go ahead and nominate the current people in their seats that have wanted to continue on. So thank you all for submitting your applications and for wanting to continue to serve the bingo industry and the BAC and at the commissioner's pleasure. So thank y'all very much for doing that. Melody, Veronica, y'all want to announce who our 3 picks are?
I
Ryan, do you
don't
want
have
to
any.
do it?
I don't have my notes, so Trace, I think that
Okay,
if you
I
and
have
Melody want to do it. Okay, great. Yeah.
I have them. Melody, are you on the phone or are you noteless?
Yes.
I know you had to call in.
No, I've got notes. I just don't have any
Okay.
internet.
Okay, all right.
We really enjoyed speaking to everybody that applied. They were all fairly serious, applications. But for the public, which has been a problem for us for a long time, we had 3 applicants, and we chose Dimitri Penny, and he goes by Penny. He is from Plano, and he has quite an extensive resume. He holds a doctorate of education. He's a U.S. veteran, college professor, public safety advisor for the U.S. House and U.S. Senate. He has a lot of extensive background working with the legislature for public safety. He's with the Texas Fallen Officers Foundation. Like I said, he's an artillery specialist. Well, it goes on and on. He has a master's in counseling. He has a master's of science in criminal justice. He has a PhD in higher education. So he is the one public member that really had nothing to do with the Texas Lottery Commission or bingo. One of the other officers had worked bingo as security, and the other one, Mr. Kirkendall, he does have another job right now. He is retired from the TA, and he said that he does know somebody on the commission, and they advised him to apply, and he would be a fine, but he does have a full-time job, and the other 2 did indicate it might be a problem to attend the meetings in person. And we all know that attending the meetings in person is very important to us. So
if I could also say one thing real quick, sorry to cut you off, Melody. The one thing I want to say is that he did really feel like, I felt like he had a grasp of nonprofits and what the needs were for nonprofits in the bingo industry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. He's worked with many of them. Like I said, his resume, he's with several. He's with the Texas Fallen Officer Foundation, the National Fallen Officers Foundation. He was with the Dallas Police Department. And he has extensive experience with legislative, trying to do legislative laws with the U.S. Senate and the House to help public education and to help the safety. And he did care deeply about the charities. And he mentioned how hard it is for a charity to get into bingo and to play bingo in a successful hall. He's in Plano. And there's just not a lot of room right now for charities to get into successful halls to raise money. So anyway, we were very impressed. Both Veronica and I were impressed with Penny. So do you agree, Veronica?
Absolutely. He really took the time. He actually went over the administrative rules and the other code and knew about Texas occupational code. So he was very impressive.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, that's wonderful that y'all have done that. So he would be one of our nominees. Why don't we go ahead and skip on to the next two that we decided on?
Yes. It would be Audrey Walter, and
Yes.
I think she'd be a good replacement for Will Martin. You know, she seems to really be. She's an operator, bookkeeper, a chairperson, floor caller. She's the one with the American Legion Auxiliary. She also played bingo
Yes.
in Alaska, and she said they had to weigh their pull tabs because they came in 7,000 to 10,000 pieces at a time. So how many you sold? You took the pull tabs and you weighed them, and that's what you
Wow.
put down. So she has
Wow.
extensive experience. She opened this American Legion in Dale, Texas, and is doing very well. We all know it's very hard to open a hall. And the only problem I had with her, she called herself old, and she's 5 years younger than me. So that's the only problem I had with her. But she said she'd be able to attend the meetings. But she is a veteran. Her husband's retired veteran. So I think
Excellent.
she'd be an absolute, yes, I think she'd be a standout. And she does she's boots on the ground. She runs this hall, and I think she'd be an excellent candidate.
I would
I
agree
concur
with
with
everything
that.
that Melody said. Yeah, she was very impressive, and she said she was an old lady, but she seems to have a lot of energy.
Excellent. Love it. All right. And what's
I have a
the
question,
third one?
Trace.
Yes. Yes,
Can I
ma'am.
ask a question? So
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
taking notes to make sure we have a complete that, you know, if your purpose is to have a complete committee, roster by the time you're
Mhm.
done. So I want to make sure that I've got each person in the right category. So Melody, Audrey Walter for the conductors that are not commercial lessors. That's the one she applied for. So is that the one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Penny, of course, she did,
Public.
Melody did say for the public, so I've got that. Okay. All right,
Yes.
continue. Thank you.
All right. And what was the last one, Melody? I think it was,
Shira
yeah.
Wilson, and she is from Waco, and she plays in she works in a Redmond Hall. She's a bingo worker, and she said she's played for years. Then she started working, and she's worked there 7 years. But she was a real spitfire that really she wanted to learn more and more. She's not a commercial lessor. It doesn't seem like she has any agenda, preconceived agenda of any type. But she knows bingo, and she works she works and she's not super young, but she works those 3 sessions a night, and that's being on your feet from 6 o'clock at night until about 11:30 or 12. And she
Wow.
really knew bingo. She was very enthusiastic, and she's from McGregor, and she said she could attend the meeting. A lot of problems we did have that Veronica can tell you is that when we asked, would you be able to attend in person, we had one of them say there would be a real financial burden, and it is expensive to attend, but several of them said, including the ones for the public, said that it would be hard for them to get down to Austin. And these 3 seem to be very anxious to attend in person and to learn more and to help bingo. That their mission was to help charitable bingo. So, Shira Wilson.
LaDonna, let me ask you something, if I might. I was a little confused by her application. I think she is definitely a great nominee. I think she would probably offer a little bit of insight that maybe some of us haven't seen in a while because she is actively an actual bingo worker, if you will. Um, on her application, she put on there for the public. But if she's a registered worker, isn't she listed on a license somewhere?
She's not listed on anybody's license. We check that. That is one of the criteria under the
Okay.
rule to make sure that she's not required
Okay.
to be listed. So she's not a bingo chair, you know, or whatever, who officer, director, whatever. I'm not going to remember all the different,
Right.
you know,
But she would
people
be
that
a
have to be
public
listed,
member
but she's,
then?
yes, she does qualify for the public member.
Okay.
I think she told us her name was Sheree, that's how she pronounced
Could
it.
be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. We
Sheree,
might
Audra,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Audra,
Audra,
Sheree
Yes.
Wilson. Okay.
Right. Goes by
Okay.
Sheree.
Okay.
But she
Well, I
does, she
have
is
no
eligible
problem.
for a public spot, of course. And that is the
Okay.
one she
And
applied for.
so if we have 2 public members on there that are truly public, would that still satisfy our requirements on all the other, um, the requirements for each different category?
Well, of course, I'm going to make you tell me exactly who falls into the other categories, but as long as we've got somebody for each category and 9
I
total
have
members,
that list
obviously.
right here.
Here we go.
I have that list right here. I'm listed as a conductor.
Okay.
Melody is listed as a commercial lessor.
Mhm.
Floyd is listed as a manufacturer. Tommy is listed as a distributor. Jason is listed as a conductor. Veronica is listed as a charity lessor. And Corey, Michael, and Stacy would be vacating their spots
Mhm.
on the BAC. So we would be adding Mr. Penny as a public person, Miss Wilson as a public person, and Miss Walter as a conductor lessor, I believe. Is that correct, Melody? Conductor lessor?
right.
Okay.
I've got it. I've got 9 people. I've got all of my categories have at least one. So that looks
Okay.
good to me.
Excellent. Okay. So since me and Melody and Veronica are on that committee, we submit that to the BAC for any public comment, questions, and if there are none of those, then we'll ask someone to make a motion, and we'll need a second.
I make a motion to accept.
I second.
All right, we have a motion and we have a second to accept the 3 new nomination forms and to submit the other 6 current sitting members on the BAC for approval by the commissioners at their next meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? If not, motion carries. The one caveat to this is, I do want to make very clear, the commissioners have the final say in this. They may choose to select someone we did not choose, and they are perfectly within their rights for that. Just because we make this recommendation for nominations, they can choose to go a completely different direction. I just want everybody to be aware of that and understand that. But hopefully they will take our recommendations into consideration. That's why we're doing this early, so we can get this done. The next item on the agenda is adjournment, but before we do that, I'm sure you all got the email about Mary Volpe having to explore other options. She's going to be doing some new things. We do want to tell her that we will miss you and we thank you, and you've always been a wonderful job and a bright smiling face, at all the meetings and all the emails that you've shared with us over the years. So we certainly appreciate her and wish her the best of luck on her next endeavors.
I will pass all that along. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So before we adjourn, LaDonna, Tyler, is there anything else that we need to do?
Trace, could you do me a favor? Send me an email today with the list of the recommended slate and
Yes.
with each of their interest groups, associated interest groups, and I will make sure that the commission gets that in there. You know, that it'll be online along with the accepted versions of the work plan and the annual report.
Okay. Do you want me to do that separately from the agenda? I was just going to include that in the agenda.
Please,
Or do you
yeah,
want
if
me
you
to do
don't
that
mind, a separate email, because I'll just print the email and make sure it's included in the materials. So the commission will have
Okay,
that
excellent.
list.
Okie doke, I can do it.
Are we going to talk about the next meeting?
Well, yeah, we probably should. So the next BAC meeting is on the 6th of August. That is an in-person meeting. And then I'm assuming the commissioners meeting is still the day after on the 7th.
So I just want to clarify, my information shows that there's actually 2 meetings on the 6th, a rules review meeting at 10, and then a bingo advisory committee meeting at 2 o'clock.
Yes, that is correct.
Is that right? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And it'll be in the conference room on the 4th floor of the George W. Bush building.
Where we normally meet, right? Yeah.
Hopefully our new normal.
Right, hopefully. Okay. All right. So we've got that down. So we'll have 2 meetings that day. We'll finish up on the rules review and then we'll go into our regular meeting and do that. All right. Excellent. And the commissioners meeting still on the 7th?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay. All right. If nothing else, we'll adjourn the meeting. LaDonna, Tyler, everyone, thank y'all for attending. Melody and Veronica, thank y'all for all you did on this. I know y'all worked your tail off on this. I appreciate y'all helping out so much.
You're very welcome.
Trace, yeah, I just wanted to add, just all the people that applied, they would all, if the commissioners do change it, they would all work fairly well. So I do appreciate all the people that took time to apply for this, and they took the speak to me and Veronica. We spoke to them for about 20, 30 minutes. So
That's nice.
Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank y'all so much. And LaDonna will be in touch. I've got some stuff to send you.
Great. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it. Y'all have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, everyone.